Own houses. Okay, Erev Tov everyone. This week, Parshat Bo. This week we're going out of Egypt. Baruch Hashem. Next we're going to say songs about that. But this week's actually it's happening. And my question for you is, when is Paro accepting the fact that Bnei Israel will go out of Egypt? When it's happening? Do you know, some of you? Maybe? So, Makat Bechorot, the 10th plague. So we like to think that after Makat Bechorot, after the 10th plague, Paro said, okay, now we can go. And we know that eventually this is when they left Egypt. But actually, if you will read in our Parsha, 3 times, not less than 3 times, Paro tells Moshe, go. And for some reason, Moshe could not accepting that. And we'll try to figure out why. And how exactly it's related to something that happens today, the second day of Shevat, 80 years ago. So, 3 times, like we said. The third one is the one that we all know after Makat Bechorot, like Keith said, all the firstborn child in Egypt are dying, and then Paro tells Bnei Israel, go out of Egypt, and they left Egypt. But the 2 first time, the first one happened in the beginning of our Parsha, right after the plague of the hail, and right before the plague that I can't remember the name in English, Makat Arbe, locusts. Okay, yes. Right before that, Moshe tells Paro, we want to go out, all of us. The youth, the elderly, everyone want to go, the sheep, the cows. And Paro says, you know what? Go just the men's. Go, lechu na hagvarim v'ivdu et Hashem, or in English, let the men go now, serve Hashem, for that is what you seek. And Moshe does not agree for that. We can understand that. I mean, what is happened to go only the men's, all the kids and the women's, and everything will stay? We can understand that. But something very weird happened 2 plagues after that, after the plague of the darkness, when Paro says the following. It's happened, the darkness, and then God stopped the darkness. And Paro summoned Moshe and said, go, serve Hashem. Only your flock and cattle shall remain behind. Even your children may go with you. Which means, except of the sheep and the cows, you can go. And we would think this is the time to say, okay, we want to go. But Moshe says, no. Not just that we know we won't going to go without our sheep and cows. You even going to give us sheep and cows before we're going to leave. And then we're going to the last plague of the death of all the firstborn child. And the obvious question is, why is it so important for... Actually, the question is for both of them. I mean, why is Paro so much care of the sheep and the cows? He's very rich, probably having a lot of those. What he needs specifically Bnei Israel ones. And Moshe, I mean, what's happening with you? You have the chance to run away. I mean, okay, count Hashem that he will help you. But no, he does not agree. And the answer for that, one of the answers, I guess, is related to Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination. Thank you. Again, I tried to remember the word. I couldn't, but I know you're here. I can count all of you, so it's fine. The evil inclination, because some of the commentaries says, exactly like the evil inclination, Paro and Moshe knew that if will something remain in Egypt, there will be very big, that when it's going to be hard in the desert, Bnei Israel will say, you know what, the ships are over there, maybe we'll go back to Egypt. And so many times we see that Israel actually want to go back to Egypt. So Paro in the beginning, he wasn't agree at all to let Bnei Israel. After they say, you know what, go just the men. I'll keep all of the kids and the families here and the sheep and everything. Moshe says no. And in that time, he basically says, you know what, go and leave only the sheep. But Moshe knows that if he will leave that small thing of sheep and cows, that will... It's basically saying that something stays in Egypt. I said it related to something that happened 80 years ago. Today, Bet Bishvat, the second day of Shvat, 80 years ago, it was Veidat Veneza, the Venice conference. This is when the Nazis decided about the final solution of killing all of the Jews. And I think it's very related because Hitler and all of those guys understood very good that if they wanted to vanish the Jewish people, the Jewish nation, they need to kill all of them, not to remain every one of them. Even if only someone's grandfather or grandmother was a Jew, they wanted him. They wanted to kill him because they knew if you want to do a big difference, horrible difference to kill all the Jews, or a very good difference like take everyone out of Egypt, you need to do it perfectly, with nothing behind. So we spoke a lot about small changes, about how to do things like in small steps, and it's fine in almost all of the things we have in life. But when we want to do a big difference, like a huge difference, an historical difference, like take out all of Israel out of Egypt, or, God forbid, what the Nazis tried to do, kill all the Jews, we need to understand that we need to do it with everything. We can't left anything behind, because this is exactly what brings us back to Egypt, or Baruch Hashem, because all of the Jews that stay alive, the Jewish nation stay alive. So this is my lesson from this week's Parsha. We're going to say